Hey folks, how you doing? This is Todd Rogers from Todd Rogers Photography. Just throwing a quick edit out there for Lightroom for all you people out there that love that HDR look, but you don't want the hassle of going through downloading presets, installing presets, and then end up applying it to an image where you just go, ugh, that's not what I wanted. So here's a quick way that I've always done it. I do have a few presets over here in my panel. But they're ones I've probably created myself, so I can help myself with the workflow easier. I have downloaded presets in the past only because when I do apply them to an image, I'm going to look over here and study them, what they did over here, and then I can tweak that image to where I like it to look. Boom, come right over to here. Make a new preset and bang. So the next time you bring in it makes your workflow easy. Makes your workflow easier. So, like I said, by studying some of the presets, I've pretty much gotten a gauge by what they do, or 9 out of 10 of them do pretty much consistently all the time. But I've got 4 things that I do to a photo at any time. Whether it's out in the backyard photographing the barbecue or a wedding or sports or whatever, anytime I bring a photo into Lightroom, I do these 4 basic things right off the bat. And number one, you'll see, by 2 of them, you'll automatically see how much dramatically it changes the photo. So what I do is I start right here and I pull down the highlights. And what that's done already is, let me open it back up here again, where they were overexposed when we opened it. See, it's overexposed, losing a lot of texture on the wall and everything. You bring them highlights all the way down, and look what it did to that texture in the wall. It's just terrific. And the next thing I'm going to do is, like down in here in the deep areas and down the hallway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull open shadows all the way. And you can already see what a difference just pulling the highlights down, pulling the shadows up. You see what kind of a difference it makes with the photo. And then I come right down here and I always go to whites, and I alt and I click, and I'll push the whites until I just start getting a little bit on there. And then I let the button go, back it off a little bit because I see I had a couple spots there. And blacks, I'll do the same thing. Alt click. Here we go. And I'll just start push that slider back to the left. And the second I see stuff coming through the screen like this, I'll let my finger off of it. That way, at least I know I'm going to get somewhat of an evenly exposed photograph. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and start applying what I've seen most of these people that have presets and everything. And granted, some of them are very cool, and if they do the work for you, God bless you. Go download one. They're free most of the time. But I found with some of the people I talk with and some of the kids I teach, they rely too heavily on presets. And the next thing you know, they don't know how to, or they've forgotten how to develop a photo digitally without using a preset. Or they take a photo knowing that all they have to do is slap that preset on and it's going to look terrific. So here's about 3 more things that I always do if I want that HDR look in my photo. I will take and I'll just absolutely just crush the contrast. You see now what that did, that yellowed things a bit. I see I've got some shadow clipping. So, but we're going to take care of that. We're also going to take, and you just crush the clarity. And what's just done is give me even more shadow clipping in and around the area. Even more dramatically gave me that yellow hue to the photo that's not going to stay there very long because I'm going to take care of that right down here in the tone curve panel. I'm going to take and I'm going to open up. Let me take here first, and I'm going to go with the blacks right here and see how much of that clipping I get rid of. Okay, I got rid of quite a bit of it, so that's not too bad. I'm still overexposing right there in the highlights just a little bit. That's okay too. We're right here. We can do it. And then just for the remainder of the little bit of a shadow clipping I have up here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the shadows in the tone curve, which is going to take care of most of them. And yeah, just a little bit more. And open the darks just a little bit more, and that takes care of that. Now, you can go ahead, and especially on HDR, how your level of sharpening is your level of sharpening and what you're happy with. I don't particularly sharpen a lot of HDR because technically what they're doing is you're supposed to be really sharpening and just basically over sharpening. But I will go down here in the sharpening panel, and I will give it about 50, 52, somewhere around in there. I'm definitely going to push the detail up a little bit, and I'm going to masking. I'm going to alt click, and of course on a Mac you know what buttons do that. And if you bring it to everything that's black will not get sharpened, so you're not going to lose your edge on any of that stuff you just created. You just, matter of fact, it's giving it more edge. Look up in here, up in the ceiling, the bricks, and just all around, just gives it a nice look. I'm going to go ahead and I'll bump some noise up because I did notice there's a few spots in here that was having a little bit of a noise, but noise really hasn't been a problem with this photo. And I'll go down here and I'll finish it off, and I'll hit remove chromatic aberration, enable the profile corrections, which on HDR, like I said, you're basically changing a lot of the properties for an image. So if my Canon pops up there, that's fine. I've noticed down here, down the corner, still can't take care of that bugger, so I'm going to hit the brush, and I'm going to scribble down here in the corner a little bit and boost the exposure just a tad, and there we go, that's gone. Re-click back on the brush and you're out of that. Now, hey, we're looking at a finished product here. Let's take a look. Before, after. I think you'll notice that the overall brightness, while you're wanting to make it look a little dingier, the overall brightness of the photo came up. Overall detail in the shadows areas down in here, and definitely down at the end of the hallway. It's just a little more subtler way to produce that HDR look that you're kind of after, that everybody kind of likes. I mean, I like a lot of it myself. So, but now I'm going to do one last thing that I always do, and shame on me, but I do it anyways. I absolutely, Lightroom as a tool is probably the best tool there is on the planet. However, a few of their features I just don't really crave, so I'll take and I'm going to pop this right over to Photoshop. We're going to go right into Photoshop. One more last thing I do, and I'm going to apply a little sharpening. I see my channel's panel is open. That's for another tutorial down the road here. We'll be learning a little bit about luminosity masks and how to really tweak your image, really be able to separate the darks and the brights, and really be able to tweak your image accordingly. Okay, so it's popping over here into Photoshop, and the time is always worth the wait. I'll go to Filter, and I'll go down here to Sharpen, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a little, oops, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little unsharp mask. I'm going to keep it around, how about we do around 90? How about we do around 90 there, somewhere around in there, get rid of that. Threshold of 1, radius 1, 1, just pop it in there, just because it's going to do a nice total job of cleaning up the whole image, really zipping things into place, and really just making a really nice image, I think. Like I said, if you head over to my website, toddrogersphotography.com, you're definitely going to see a few photos on there that I pushed the button a little too far. And and yes, I leave them on my site because it reminds me of what I should be doing instead of what I'm not doing. So I tell you, thanks for stopping in, folks. We're going to have more tutorials, retooling the webpage so we can download some videos, and especially on YouTube, you'll be able to get the raw files right here off on YouTube and try your own works on it. And until then, this is Todd Rogers. Have a great day, folks.